So, did anything not meet your expectations? Was there something you were excited about and then came out kind of like...
Not at all, actually.
Not at all. Perfect.
What was really interesting about this year's Comic-Con was there were so many things that I was excited for. Like, it was the 25th anniversary of Sandman, which I love. Like, probably my favorite comic series ever, and I adore Neil Gaiman.
That's getting not a reboot, but like a continuation of the prequel, isn't it?
A prequel, yes.
Yeah,
and he was premiering the prequel while he was there. I saw Neil Gaiman twice, actually. He did one panel for the 25th anniversary of Sandman and one just a spotlight on his own. I was there both times. He was one of the things that I was mainly there to see, and that was awesome. And just like talking about something that I've loved for so long in a room of other people who have loved for so long, it was just a really nice environment, and I loved it so much. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, and you are going back next year.
Absolutely.
Which is, I think, probably the best testament to the quality of something
exactly
that you could hope for.
And I can't even wait. It's just finished, and I can't wait for next year already.
There we go.
But one of the really cool things about this year, I think it's every year, but they give you something called swag, free swag. Mm-hmm. So
okay, by the way, pause.
Yep.
That is ladies and gentlemen, that is the definition of swag. It's not style. It's not any urban rap, any kind of that sort of urban slang. That's not what it is. It's not style. That's dumb. It's stupid. And if you say you have swag, then I will hate you. You could be.
He will hate you. Like, he's not kidding.
I will.
He's going to go through
because
with that.
Swag is stuff we all get.
It's free stuff. It's free stuff that they give us to promote their show and
to
like
the table, Adam.
It's to thank you for watching their show.
Oh.
But
yeah, and so like you'll get like a shirt or a bag or like buttons or pens or
yeah,
whatever.
And it was awesome. But definitely like because we got swag in a bunch of different panels. Like the best example was I was really torn between going to Hannibal and going to Dexter because they were on at the same time.
Yes.
So I went with my dad, actually. So my dad went to Hall H, which is the biggest room in the convention center, and he got in to see Dexter.
Yep.
And then I went to room 6A, which is a smaller room, by myself, and I went to see Hannibal. And we both got tickets during the panel, and we had to bring them to the Marriott, which is next door, and go to the fulfillment room and get our swag. And we were both really excited, but my dad got a piece of cardboard on a stick. And it was egg-shaped, and it had the cut on the cheek that Dexter always does to his victims. And on the back, it had information about the complete series, the packaging. And that was it. That's all he got. And he was really disappointed. He was like, well, this is just a piece of cardboard on a stick. It's a pan, basically. And when I got mine, it was a scroll with a Hannibal binding on it, and when you took it off and you unrolled it, it was a sketch of Wound Man, which is very important in the show because, well, in the book, we haven't gotten that far in the show yet, is how Hannibal catches Will. Spoiler, sorry, the books have been out since the 80s. And he realizes that Hannibal is the killer, and we got that sketch, and it's signed by Hannibal Lecter, and it was incredible, and it's like this huge piece of, memorabilia that I have now. So the swag this year was phenomenal.
Can I ask you a question, actually, about this specifically?
Yeah, absolutely.
You and I have had conversations about this before, sort of differing fan responses to different shows.
Sure.
Was whether, is, defining, success as both aspiring television people.
Yes, exactly.
Defining success as... having a huge audience or having a small, dedicated, sort of more cult following.
Yep.
Do you think that attests to the sort of quality of even something like that Hannibal would produce, having the more smaller cult following than Dexter, which is obviously hugely popular?
Yes, exactly.
But hang on now. Hannibal might have a smaller fan base just because it's first season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it might only be first season
as well.
Because if I remember correctly, Dexter wasn't all that, had a similar cult following when it first came out and just got mega successful.
True, but Dexter had also had Showtime on its side, which helps a lot.
Right.
Because Showtime is big into promotion. Whereas Hannibal's on...
NBC.
You gotta help me. NBC,
yeah.
Which, as we know from watching Community, is not so big on promotion.
Yeah, it was an odd network choice, I thought, for a show like this, because it is so violent and so disturbing.
And NBC, and this is the thing about NBC, they pick great shows and then don't promote them like I feel they should. I feel like I should see more Hannibal than I do.
I agree. I absolutely agree with you, but I think that they're definitely working on that, and I think a testament to their panel and their swag this year was how they're working on that and how they're trying to incorporate the fans. People in the actual panel were brilliant. There's a fan sort of tradition now, I guess, where flower crowns are really in. So, like, we'll take a character and you put, like, a flower crown on them. And a lot of fans who showed up to this panel were cosplaying as Will, wearing flower crowns. And the showrunner, Brian Fuller, was, like, over the moon about it. And every
Yeah.
time they did 2 panels in 2 days, there was a fan meetup the next day that I didn't get to go to. And whenever a fan would come up and ask a question with a flower crown, they would give it to him, and he would wear it for the rest of the panel. And 2 girls showed up as what they call the Nightmare Stag or the Raven Stag, and he took pictures with them. They were just as excited to meet us as we were to meet them, and it was an amazing.
Which is awesome. Yeah,
it was
and
so cool.
So do you think that that you obviously think they're sort of cognizant of their fan base? Do you think that's
Absolutely.
probably a big part of it?
Oh, absolutely, and I think them more than other showrunners, more than other shows.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Absolutely. But I mean, I have to say as well, a lot of the panels were like that. Most of the ones that I went to, Defiance is another panel that I went to, and that was awesome. And Julie Benz did the same thing. A man came
Defiance,
down.
is that the new sci-fi?
It is the new sci-fi show.
Sci-fi?
Yeah, it's
Is it
on
just me,
Sci-Fi,
or
Sci-Fi.
is Julie Benz awesome in everything?
She is. She really is. Like, I'd never watched Defiance before I watched this panel, but it really made me want to watch the show because all the actors cared about it so much.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, they showed us the clip and they were talking about it. And
I've heard that the show is very, very cheesy, and I'm like, well, I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but everyone's like, yeah, it's way too cheesy. I'm like, yeah, well, so was Star Trek.
yeah, I mean,
It's
it's
like a-
sci-fi. Like, it's going to have a level of cheese, I think, unless it's Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Firefly. Even Firefly a little
Firefly's
bit.
a little bit cheesy, yeah.
And also, Battlestar Galactica lost a lot of its humor as it went on. I'm not
It
saying
did.
it's necessarily a bad thing.
No,
because
no,
they
not at all. It was a
picked
different animal.
tone. But, like, especially in the miniseries, there was actually humor in that thing.
Yeah. But
It-
then,
yeah, it did
but
get
then
a lot
somebody
darker.
became Jesus, and then all went downhill from there.
It got very confusing. Like, you have to lose track of some of the dialogue near the end.
And
just
Snape
impossible.
killed Trinity with Rosebud, and then there was the Guns of the Patriots, and I don't know.
Yep, that sounds about right to me. Oh, yeah, Penny doesn't play video games. I forgot.
Sorry, no,
That was-
I caught about half of that.
That
It's
was
a Metal
another
Gear
Gear
Solid
Solid
reference.
Oh, yeah, at the same time. No, when Snape kills Trinity with Rosebud, that's like the 3 big spoilers. Trinity dies,
Snape and
kills-
Rosebud,
yeah.
but I don't know which
But
one.
Comic Con must be good for you because, like,
Rosebud. Sorry.
I know you are, of course, a big fan of sort of general geek culture, and that's why we've had you on the show twice. I believe she's the first guest to be on twice. Is that correct, Adam?
We've had 2 guests.
Oh, that's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and you're the first one to be on twice.
Excellent. I'll gladly be your recurring guest.
But I guess, like, if you went to E3 on the one hand, you'd probably enjoy a lot of the stuff, and then on the other
Absolutely.
hand, you'd be alienated by a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not being a
because,
big
like,
video
if-
game person.
Absolutely.
For example, if I were to say DRM, do you know what that is?
I have not a clue.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, well, exactly.
clue.
Yeah.
Sorry, there we go.
But it's good, but Comic Con is.
I mean, there's so
you're sort of
much.
free to roam in that regard.
Absolutely. There's so much.
Because they do have obviously not as much, but they have video games. They have movies, TV shows, comics, graphic novels, anime, web series, miniatures, tabletop games. A lot of stuff. And then there's
massive.
people just go just because they want to cosplay.
yeah, absolutely.
it's
And we did that a lot
genius.
too.
It's genius. I mean, the idea.
By the way,
of,
I'm gonna link something to our Facebook page.
But everybody
It's-
gets along so well.
the-
That's the
and
great
they
thing.
put more stuff in there than you could possibly go to, which is
Exactly.
half of what makes you want to go back, I'd imagine.
That's what I
which
said.
is
I'm like, no, I
genius.
have to go back again because I
Exactly.
didn't get to do
Because they
everything I
can't.
wanted to do.
If they dragged it sort of all out and had everybody going to everything,
Yeah.
then I don't think you'd want to go back as much. Because
Absolutely.
right now you haven't seen the Dexter panel at all.
Because like
I
you'll
know, but
you'll bump into somebody who's
it's
like dressed
over
as the
now.
same costume as you.
No, but I mean for next. Oh wait,
They won't be there next year because it's over.
right? That's true.
I know, but I mean,
Is that a good decision? Just on a total side note before we take our break, is that a good decision? Ending Dexter now?
And then Dexter, I think so. I think I haven't seen this week's episode because or last week's episode because I was in San Diego. I haven't watched it yet because I have to wait for my parents. But I think the direction that they're taking this season in is incredible. It's so more so with Evelyn Vogel, I think,
Yes.
and less so with Deb's storyline. But I think the package of it, I really like what they're doing.
Yeah, and I like shows ending actually.
So do I.
Yeah, on a strong note, which is why I was semi
Scripted
glad that
endings.
Angel ended. You should. I think Reddit
No.
should put in an ending.
No,
Like, I
'cause
think
Angel
that should be
didn't
a
end
big part of
properly.
it.
I agree.
What?
Angel didn't end properly. It ended on a cliffhanger. That's a terrible way to end.
I thought
A lot of
Angel
people
ended
like
well.
the end of Angel.
I thought it ended well. I think it continuing on in a comic series was the right thing to do with that.
Yeah, it did continue on, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
at the point of if I was going to finish off a show, like finish,
Oh yeah.
like I've just watched it yesterday, so this is coming off the top of my head, but Beast Wars did it well, where it ended and it kind of so
Yeah.
you could do stuff in the ending, but it was an ending.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that was the problem with Angel. Of course, it wasn't intended to be the end.
Yeah, I think was it halfway through the 5th season they were told to. It's like, yeah, we're canceling the show. I'm like, oh
No, they didn't get canceled. Joss Whedon canceled it.
Anyway, we gotta go commercial.
Oh yes, we do. Thanks. table.
After these messages.